So here's the thesis, this lovely little motion here, the grand jeté. Let's jump right in. So we're going to look at first this naked skin, a sack of muscles, if you will. So we're going to take a look here first at the bottom half portion of the muscles and the top half portion of the muscles. And we're going to go into a bit of specifics. But before we do just that, here's a little preview of everything we will go over, and we will come back and go over everything specifically. So to start off, we should probably go over what exactly a grand jeté is. Yeah, I don't know either. So the definition is a jump in which a dancer springs from one foot to land on the other with one leg forward of their body and the other stretched backward while in the air. Don't understand that? Yeah, me neither. Let's look it up here. So when we look up specifically what a grand jeté is, to look at some pictures, you get a definition and you get some pictures. And when you look at it, it's basically just a painful looking split in the air. I mean, look at this, guys. Don't tell me this doesn't look like it hurts. Why are her legs bending like that? They should not be doing that, but that is a magnificent thing that the human body does, and we're going to learn about the muscles that allow us to be able to do that. So starting off here, I know it's a little bit of a blurry picture. We will get a little better one here in a second, but this just gives you guys an idea of where the muscles are specifically. And we're just going to go over a couple of the muscles that are in the legs used in the grand jeté. So we've got the rectus femoris, the gracilis, abductor magnus, and brevis, as well as the longus. We have tensor fascia latae. The gluteus minimus, maximus, and medius is used in it. All four hamstrings are used in the grand jeté. The quadratus lumborum, the iliacus, sartorius, oblique, pectineus, vesti, deltoidus, trapezoidus. The spinal extensors are used. Those aren't in the bottom half. They are in the upper half. We are getting into a little bit of that here. Plantar flexors, which are going to be located in your ankles and leg area. The rectus abdominis, moving back up a little bit, kind of jumping all around. As well as the sternocleidomastoidus. Big ol' word there. Gotta love those. The dorsal flexors, piriformis, as well as the sartorius, quadriceps femoris, gastrocnemius. Now you might notice that there is still some muscles on the diagrams here that I show you guys that I did not mention or go over specifically. That is perfectly okay. There is so many muscles in the human body. If we tried to go over them all, this video would be hours and hours long, and it would drag, and you might even fall asleep. But I mean, who doesn't need a good nap? But not when you're trying to learn about something, right? So starting off with a bit of the lower portion of the muscles and what muscles are used in the lengthening of the legs for the grand jeté. We're going to start with all four hamstrings, which you can see in the diagram listed in the picture here, as well as the adductor longus, magnus, and brevis. Those will be in the pictures as well. The pectineus is used in the lower legs for lengthening and stretching the legs and keeping them elevated. The gracilis, the dorsal flexors, as well as the gluteus maximus, minimus, and medius, and the tensor fascia latae. And again, you can see these in the diagram on the screen. The psoas, iliacus, sartorius, rectus femoris, vesti, piriformis, as well as bicep femoris, semimembranosus, and semitendinosus. Now, those are not all of the muscles in the lower half of the body, but those are the most common and the most responsible muscles for lengthening the legs in the grand jeté. Now again, keep in mind there is too many muscles in the human body to try and put into this video and keep it short, sweet, and to the point. So we're just going to stick with the basic muscles that you need to know for the grand jeté. So next we're going to move to the top portion of the body, well, more so middle top portion, I should say, that has to do with the grand jeté. So the rectus abdominis is used for the grand jeté to keep the body up straight and keep the form perfect, so to say, as well as the obliques. Those help with supporting the rectus abdominis, and the spinal extensors keep the shape specifically and kind of keep you from being all over the place, we'll put it that way. So the quadratus lumborum is also part of keeping the shape in the core of it all, and that will be all of the major middle core part muscles that have to do with the grand jeté. So here we're just going to watch a little clip of a ballerina doing the grand jeté. Now you can see the motion she's doing, and you can also see her legs extending, and her abdominal core is in working motion, we will put it that way, supporting her hips and her upper half of her body. Her arms are moving in all sorts of directions. Now, with some ballerinas, they do choose where they want their arms to go, or whoever their choreographer is for their dances. So sometimes their arms are used, sometimes they are just thrown out. It all depends on who is giving them the dance style and routine. So there is that, but you can see that she is extending her flexors, and she has her legs positioned outward on each ends, as well as her core supporting the rest of it, giving justice to the muscles that we went over, not all of them, of course, and showing a little bit of an example of what the grand jeté looks like instead of just having pictures, because I feel like videos are a little better for the learning aspect and gives you a little better idea of what's going on specifically.